Hello, it's Thursday, the 10th of March 2016, and a great night last night, I have to say, at the quiz night, although there was something very strange going on. One of the teams that come every week are called the Short Blanks, a selection of quite nice people, I have to say, headed by the great Johnny. The great Johnny. Good morning, Johnny, who runs a little antique business. And they're all very, very nice people. But there was a bloke sitting there. Now, I can't remember his name now, but he's a regular who hasn't been regular for a while. I have taken your name, sir, although I haven't got it written down in front of me. I have taken your name, sir, and a suitable punishment will be thought about. You can't be called regulars unless you come every week, dear. I mean, where will it all end? Not regular. Anyway, he was there last night. And while I was reading out the questions, I looked down. No, incorrect. While I was reading out the answers, I looked over to their table and he had his calculator out. Now, when I say calculator, I mean mobile phone work with the calculator app on it. Okay, now, while we're doing the quiz, reading the questions out, we don't allow anyone to use mobile phones or laptops or tablets, or for the rich people, Apple iPads. We don't allow that to happen while we're using the questions, reading the questions out, because people could cheat, you see. But we weren't reading the questions out, we're reading the answers out. So that was okay. And I looked down and he's doing this calculation. And I said, what are you doing now? He said, oh, we're working out the average number of kidneys people have on this table. And he said, it's 1.78. So I think people had bits of kidneys removed on that table. Isn't that interesting? And I read that out on the microphone for everyone else to hear, which they found quite amusing. And I said, well, this is what happens as you get older, dear. You know, they start taking bits away of us, don't they? Oh, yes, dear. You know, as you get older, more and more bits of you are taken away and you've got to take more and more pills. My poor sister, you know, she's had so much taken away. She's now just an eyeball. My sister is now just an eyeball walking around. So if you see an eyeball walking around in the north of the UK somewhere, you know, around the Lincolnshire area or in the Lincolnshire area, that is probably my sister. Say hello. Okay, if you see the eyeball, and she will just blink at you, okay? Like that, she will blink at you, but she won't be able to talk, obviously, because she is now just an eyeball. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. If she has to have anything else removed, I don't know what's going to happen. But yes, that's what happens. We get older, we have bits and pieces removed. My poor pussy downstairs, she's got no, what glands are they? Thyroid glands. She nearly died a couple of years ago. She got no thyroid glands, my pussy downstairs. Poor old cow. But it don't seem to affect her. She still moans to higher heaven. Meow, 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 every 5 minutes. So that was the quiz last night. If you ever want to join us, please feel free to do so. The King's Head Theatre Bar every Wednesday night from 8:30 in Upper Street in Islington is where I do my quiz night. It's a lot of fun. And it's nice and easy. It's not serious. Nothing I do is serious, believe me. Nothing I do is serious. Even at church on Sundays. At church on Sundays, I go Catholic church, and in the last third of the Mass, we do the sign of peace. This is where you turn around to your neighbours and start shaking their hands. Even if you've not been talking to them all the time, you go and shake their hands. And there's a lady that sits behind me, Mary Soul, and I turn around and I shake her hand and she says, peace, because she's foreign. She's from, I think, Spain. I think she's Spanish. And she turns around, peace, Chris, like that with a foreign accent. But I don't let go of her hand. And she's... and she starts pulling back and I start pulling back and then I let go. She shakes someone else's hand and as she's turning around I grab it again. Oh, you gotta have a bit of fun in life, dear. You don't think he's not got a sense of humour, do you? Of course he has. That's why I've got a face like this. God's sake. Now, here's a story for you. Yesterday, I spent a long time on the phone to EE, Everything Everywhere. That's the new name for Orange and... Who's the other one? Orange and... Oh, it's not Vodafone. Is it Vodafone? Orange. Who was there? It was Vodafone, Orange, 3... what's the other one? Oh, gosh, I can't remember now. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyway, now, my SIM-only contract came up for renewal a year ago, and I completely forgot about it. Completely forgot. Now, the reason I checked is because, as a regular viewer, you probably already know, I do a lot of Facebook Live videos now. And a lot of them are of the karaoke nights that I do. I do several karaoke nights a week, okay? And these Facebook Live programs sometimes have to use my data, which is on the phone. Now, I have already got 8 gig a month. 8 gig a month. But if you're doing several Facebook Live videos during a week, you soon get through that. And I've noticed this since I started doing the Facebook Live shows on places that don't have a strong enough Wi-Fi. Obviously, if they've got a strong enough Wi-Fi in a pub, I log on to that and use that. But often, a lot of the pub, they may have Wi-Fi, but they're not that fast. Okay? So I use my 4G data. Well, I've been getting close to the end, you know, to the 8 gig. So I went on there and I realised that I can now upgrade my SIM. Now, EE... the most they can do, and this is really the only reason why I'm using up all these gig of data because of the Facebook Live videos, which I like to do. And people enjoy watching them. And if I can make someone smile or enjoy something, I like to do it. That's my thing. That's what I get a kick out of. Okay, so I rung up EE. And I explained the situation. I said, the maximum you can give me is 16 gig, which may sound a lot to those of you that, you know, have got mobile phones. Oh, we never get to the end of 16 gig. Believe me, if you was doing Facebook Live videos a lot, you would find that you soon get to the end of that, certainly the 8 gig. The 16, I'm not so sure about, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. So I had a look around the internet. And there's a couple of people doing unlimited data, which is quite cool. EE online, you know, when you go on their website, the maximum they seem to allow offer you is 16 gig. So I rung them up, and honestly, I was on the phone for 45 minutes to a couple of lovely people, really, really nice people. No problem with the attitude of the people, no hard selling, nothing like that. They were really, really nice. But after 45 minutes, the best they could come up with was to either buy another phone, okay, so you'd be paying for the phone and the SIM, but I don't want to do that. You know, I already have a perfectly good phone. You're watching this little recording on an iPhone 5S, okay? Which is quite old, I suppose, in the grand scheme of mobile phone things and all that. But it's it's very good. The quality of the picture's all right. The sound's fine. It works well. I don't want another phone. So I said, well, that's no good. I don't want another phone. Oh, yes, but you could use the data on that because we can offer you more data on a new phone than we can on a SIM only. I said, well, I'm just paying for something I don't want. No, that's no good. So she said, yeah, all right, I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes if you could hold for a while. And I reiterate, she was really nice and polite and was obviously trying to hold on to me. Not physically, you know, not physically, not cuddles. I don't get cuddles at all anymore. Anyone offering to cuddle little old me today? Oh, no one. Never mind. So she came back, and the only other thing they could suggest was getting this little box thing that she said I could carry around with me, right? And somehow the phone connects to this box, I suppose, with the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. I don't know how it works. And this box would give me 50 gig, 50 gig a month, which that would probably do it, to be honest. And it was reasonably priced, I think at something like £25 a month for 50 quid. And I thought, well, that would do it. I said, so tell me, how does this exactly work? She said, well, you'd have to carry around a little box, probably in your pocket. It's very small. I said, well, I don't want to have to carry something else around. She said, well, it's only small. I said, well, I'd probably lose it then. You know, I don't want to carry something else around. Besides, you've introduced another connection into the whole equation. So the phone would have to connect to the box, and the box would have to connect to the internet. Do you see what I mean? You've put another element in there to go wrong. Engineers anyway will tell you, whatever you're doing, even if it's with wires, you don't want to have to when I worked for BT, okay, if there was a fault in a wire somewhere, you wouldn't twist I did a couple of times, to be honest, to save a bit of time. But you wouldn't twist wires together and put a bit of tape round them. You might do it temporarily. You would replace that whole piece of wire. Because the more connections you've got in something, the more chance it is of going wrong. And there you've already introduced, by having a box, another connection in there. Not only that, I think probably, although I'm not 100% sure of this, by going from phone to box to Wi-Fi, or box to 4G, I think it would slow it down a bit. I don't know by how much, but I'm pretty sure it would slow it down by an amount. So I said, well, that's no good. She said, well, what you can do, if you don't want to use the box, is take the SIM out of the box and put that into your phone. I said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I said, and I would just make calls for that, calls with that. And she said, no. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm trying to tell this story. 1 minute. Oh. Oh, dear. I was coughing like a good and earlier. A bit of tea went down the wrong hole. Don't you hate that? And a bit of food or tea. It was very dangerous. Do you know you can get some sort of pneumonia from that? Yeah, I was watching it on Casualty. This woman on Casualty got that on Saturday night. Do you watch that? Casualty on BBC One Colour. Yes. So I said, so I just use the phone as normal and put the other SIM in? She said, no. Get this, right? If you want to use the phone to make calls, you would then have to put your other SIM back in. So you're forever swapping around these bloody SIMs. Of course, you might say, oh, it's no hassle, just changing your SIM over at the beginning of the night and then changing it back at the end of the night. They're tinier, what they called micro SIMs or nano SIMs, something like that. Ever so easy to lose them. So easy. And it doesn't matter how careful. I'll just put that in my pocket. Oh, where's that gone? It might have dropped out somewhere. And I thought, no. And after it must have been 45 minutes on the phone, we were no nearer getting any sort of resolution or deal with this. Remember, nothing's gone wrong, okay? I'm trying to upgrade something here. We were no nearer getting any sort of resolution to this problem than we were when I'd looked on the internet the night before. It was basically 16 gig was the maximum that they could offer, unless I went along the routes of having this box or the extra SIM, what you keep swapping over. I mean, have you tried to change a SIM in an iPhone? You've got to have a little pin with you and stick it in that little hole, haven't you, dear? Oh, for Christ's sake. And I thought, no. So I said, well, I don't think we can resolve this. And then she stopped. She was very, very pleasant. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, we can't help you any further. She had a good go. But by the end of the phone call, I don't feel I was ever offered anything else that was already on there. So I came away from there a little bit disheartened. And I put a little bit of a message on Facebook asking people about networks and things, and it would appear that 3 have unlimited data SIMs, which I think it was about 33 quid. This would be unlimited data, unlimited phone minutes, and unlimited texts. Now, I don't use texts too much. I'm really not a fan of texts. I think they're really impersonal. I've never been a fan of texts. People send you text because they can't be bothered to talk to you. And quite often, I don't bother answering texts. I think, I receive a text and I think, oh, why didn't you just pick up the phone and speak to me? Do you know what I mean? So I don't need too many texts. But 3 have got this deal on. Now, the thing is with 3, I had a really bad experience with them. About, gosh, it's got to be about 16 or 17 years ago now. And I swore I would never, ever go back to them. Even on this programme. I really did. I swore I would never, ever go back to them. However, I think I might go and give them a go. Because what they do is a 30-day rolling contract. Right? So I'll hold on to my excuse me, my EE number as it is, And then I think what I might do today is go and sign up for a 30-day contract thing on the unlimited this, that and the other. All right, and see how it goes. So they'll give me, I suppose I'll get a new number for that. And if I'm happy with that, if it works everywhere that I use the phone, okay, then if I'm happy with that, I think what I'll do is then stop that new number with the 30-day rolling contract, get my PUK code, I do like that, my PUK code, PUK code from EE, then cancel that one and then take that number to 3 and have the unlimited business on that. I think that's what I'm going to try and do today. So a little bit later on, I'll be going down to 3 to see if I can get one of those 30-day rolling contracts. All right, so that was my experience with EE yesterday. Oh, it just goes on and on. It really does. You have a lovely Thursday. I'll be doing a little bit of DJing tonight at the Two Brewers in Clapham. Don't forget, you can always leave a message or send an email if you want to. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address, or just leave a little message underneath this post on Facebook, all right? Have a lovely Thursday. See you soon. Bye-bye.